Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to ZMB Talks. My name is EDNA. I am the People's Bay. Now, honestly, guys, you can finally say ZMB Talks is like, it's a medium, okay? People pass through it, then they make it. Others don't make it, but they still have to come here regardless. You know what time it is? It's hashtag elevating the industry. Now, my guest today is someone that people have said has got a promising future, okay? He signed to one of the biggest record labels in the country. He's jumped on one of the biggest collabos in the country, Slapdee featuring Cassper Nyovest. You know, let's see what he has to bring to the industry. My beautiful people, welcome. Xain! What's up, Xain?
Is it you okay?
I'm okay, my guy.
Yeah, I'm alright,
Welcome to ZMB Talks.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Do you even watch the show?
Yeah, I watch the show all the time.
For real? Which one's like your favorite episode?
I think it's J-Max. Yeah, maybe one of the reasons because you mentioned me.
The reason that we did with him?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think, because even YSL mentioned about you.
Okay.
So for me, it's like, do you think that giving you credit or mentions because you jumped on songs with them?
I don't know. I think they just, maybe they've just seen, they've seen the potential in, that everyone else is seeing. That's why they just feel like, they should give me a shout out.
Okay. But where have you been?
Been in the studio, been in the booth, recording. Just getting ready, preparing myself mentally, everything that's needed to be done. So that when this, this entire thing works out, I'll be, ready.
What else? Do you have any backup plan? School?
I'm just strictly artist. Strictly artist, yeah.
I love that.
Artist.
Now, a lot of people, this is just me seeing from outside. Like a lot of people have been around XYZ, but for us to get to know them, it takes time because I hear people go through mentorship, you go through media training, you go through APCT. But how long have you been around XYZ for them to now officially put you out?
I've been with the team for 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. So I went through mentorship and everything that same 2 years. And also my recordings, is consistently recording.
Okay. Born in Lusaka?
Yeah, born in Lusaka.
Kusaka?
Lilai.
Oh, okay. Lilai.
Yes.
Do you have any artists from Lilai, like someone who just made it from Lilai?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
You're not sure yet.
Yeah.
So you managed to stay you're only 20?
Actually 21.
21?
Yeah.
21. But you're not a savage, ka?
No. Actually 21 this year.
Okay, nice. Did you start off with the R&B style or?
Yeah. I started out with a bit of R&B soul, Bryson Tiller type of music. Yeah. Till I switched to Afro.
Okay, so who's been your inspiration since?
I've been following Rema. Every time he had posted a video on his Instagram or whichever, I would just follow up, try to do maybe, what he's doing, just to see how I can, improve in my music too.
Nice. It's nice to see Rema inspiring. When he came, did you have the chance to see him?
No, I was actually in the studio there. But okay. I was in the studio there.
Who was the first person you met from XYZ?
From X,
how did the whole signing happen?
Okay,
and how did they recognize you? How did they spot you?
It was a friend of mine that actually introduced me to Mouse came along.
Okay.
Yeah, and then when he introduced me to Mouse asked me to go to start recording on a daily basis because he told me, hey, did you know that you got the potential to get signed under XYZ? I was like, oh, that's really great. I would love that. So I used to go there every day until just one day, I think it's good. Yeah, so I met Mr. Slap, I met Bobby, and Neslong. That's how it came
The same day? in the studio?
No, not in the same day. After some time, sorry.
Okay, so who was the first one you met? Badia, Slap.
Mouse. It was first Mouse, and then I met all three of them at the same time.
Oh, okay. Were you scared
Afterwards.
before you met?
I was. But I was so excited because coming from where I'm from, we don't see them like,
Where are you from? Like, so when you say you don't see them like that, what do you mean? Like you don't really see the artist, or?
Okay, it's that thing where I never used to like go for shows, like do that, type of stuff where there's an event where you actually have a chance to see them in person.
Okay.
But I never used to go like to shows. So for me, that was like my first time. So I would only see them on the phone and whatnot. Seeing them, in person was very overwhelming because I couldn't believe it. Okay. Yeah.
And how did you receive the news that you've been signed?
Trust me, I was excited. And one of the first people who I told was my mom about it, and she was as excited as I was, maybe even more excited.
Because you already knew the people. Okay. So when you got signed, did you feel like you're coming to fill up the void that Daev Zambia left? Was that kind of like pressure on you? Or it was something that you just said, let me do me?
Okay, to be honest, really, I was just working. Like I was just another regular artist. Even when I got signed, I didn't, actually wasn't told there was actually going to be any void feeling, or just me personally. I just didn't think that. All I knew is that I had to do my best. Just keep writing. But to where it would get to that, I feel like I'm just I'll just continue working hard till one day everybody's gonna be proud as much as they were with my big brother, for me as well. So that's like my dream.
I love that. Okay. Definitely, that for some reason. I don't. It's the first time having a conversation with you like this. I don't know if you noticed. You also oh, what's good? Oh yeah, what's up? That type of thing. So now, hear you say that, it's answered my question. I've always wanted to ask you this. Like, do you feel this is what's happening, or? But then you've answered it perfectly. So well and good. You talked about your writing skills. How did you improve your writing skills? And have you always been an R&B? Oh, you started off with Bryson Tiller, then Afro, but were you always singing about ladies?
Okay, not before, yes, but not always. Like I would do songs about life, like about life. Where where a man gets adikache kuvendela checha. So when I'm vendela, you know what I mean? Just when I'm at that point, I would write I would write whatever I felt at that time.
Okay.
And I would write it down. Mostly it would be like what I'm feeling. It wouldn't be about the ladies all the time. It would be my mood, someone's story, for example. I just write it down. I was just like open-minded. I was I take other people's advice. Sometimes they'll just tell me stories because they know I write. So I'm a good writer. But like, boy, good idea. So you know what I mean? What do you think? How can you build up from here? And like, oh, that actually sounds great. And from then it's like that.
I know you're only 21, but have you ever written a song about heartbreak, or have you ever gone through that yourself?
Nah, I would like.
That like the hesitation is like a sign to say yeah, but it's not yet out.
No, it's actually thinking of, no. No.
Yeah.
I have it. Yeah. I do write songs about, other people's circumstances, as I said.
Okay.
They would just tell me, then I just write it down. But in terms where I feel sad or anything, it doesn't exceed that where I'm heartbroken and I'm, I can't move. I feel like, stuff is not moving. Nah, that's not me.
Okay. And I feel like also a lot of people like you because yes, you can sing, but you have this artistic look. Yeah, guys, don't be deceived. Xain is told, I'm seated and I'm like half his, what more? voice.
Yeah, real
I feel like also people, especially ladies, would gravitate to your looks. Is that something that they told you? Or it's just that, what was it that you're like, I know I'm nice?
Wait. Yeah. Nah, it's wait. Come again.
I'm saying, like, you see how you're looking, yeah? You look like you're an artist. You know, there's like a thing, like a pretty boy look and all that. Is it something that they had to turn you to say, look like this?
Look like this? No,
Or it's
no.
just something that you have in you?
It's just something that I've always had. Yeah, from a very young age, I've always wanted to become an artist. Like, you know, I've looked up to so many people, as I said. So it was just in me. For me, it was just, I would just wake up and how I feel like dressing, you know. Sometimes it was just like, I would pick out from each and every single person I look up to. I pick out, okay, he wears shirts like this.
Okay.
You know, and then like that, then I'm like, okay, if it's the shirt, I'll be rocking like this guy.
Okay.
The shirt down here, I'll be rocking like this other guy.
Okay.
Because if I dress like the entire fit, like one person that I'm looking up to, I know he's trying to look like, you know. Yeah. So if I mix it up, pick out everyone, you know, it's just gonna be me. Okay. Plus, I make sure I add in a little, you know, a bit of me in the outfit, nice. So I'm comfortable.
Nice. It's just sad we didn't get to see it in the music video. You and Cassper Slap, we didn't get to see that side, but I'm getting to that. So a lot of, like, we first heard of you on that, me personally, I first heard of you on that track, or maybe there was something before that.
No.
There was nothing before. What was the name again? African Queen?
African Queen.
African Queen. That was a song everybody knew you from, and then now everybody wanted to see the person behind those vocals. Were you seeing those things online? What happened? Let's get your side of the story. Why were you not in the video? And first, no. How did you find yourself on that song? Then we track it down to the video.
You know, the funny thing is that, you know, the first day I met them, the entire team, the big man, Mr. Slap and Mr. Bobby and Nis. The first day I met them, that was the first day we actually recorded African Queen. The same day we recorded African Queen.
Did they find you recording it, or you just said, let me do something from scratch?
They found me recording other projects. As I said, I would record every day with Mouse. So one day they just passed by the studio, Mouse studio, and then they found me there. So I was working on some song.
Okay. Did you know the record had Cassper on it, or they told you after?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah? Yeah. So when he heard it, he was like, "This is dope, Xain. This is dope." And you're like, thanks for Slap. No,
I was way more excited than anything.
For real?
Yeah, I was at the point where I couldn't even speak. I was like, okay, what
about when you heard that there was Cassper on the song?
You know, I kept quiet. Like, I never told anyone, even when I found out, like, there's Cassper on the song, because I was like, it was, for me, it was just way big and it was happening so fast.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
okay. And how did you miss out in the video?
Actually, I didn't have a passport by then. So, after everyone noticed and they realized that I don't have a passport, they you know, we all tried our best to just like get it ASAP, you know, quick. And then before we could actually get the passport, it was like time for us to go to SA and shoot for the video. So I didn't get it in time. It didn't come out in time.
Yeah, I'm sure you're proud of yourself. The hook that you did. Sorry, Xain. Just some parts. What were you saying again? Could you just sing for me? Just a...
falling in love with this African girl.
Why are you laughing? I want to listen to it.
Okay. Falling in love with this African girl. Met at a club, but I want her. Oh, she got the body with a diamond pearl. I wonder why, but I'm losing my cool. I'm loving her body. Her moves are confined. My heart is beating, body shaking.
I'm going crazy. Yeah. Another day, another dollar. Hey, before your love will not controller. Okay, all right. Then from that project, do you think they're going to release another song that's going to put you out?
From that one, definitely. But they actually, like, the projects that came afterwards were Mr. Nez's and Bobby's Banger Bros. Yeah, that was like the album I got on after African Queen.
Okay. Does it get to you when people say, like how you like the new cats, the singing era is coming up, trying to fuse in the Afrobeats and what? When people say, no, you're trying to sound Nigerian, you're trying to sound, foreign. How are you working towards that?
Actually, for me, I believe like it's even though it's like it's Afro, yeah, it's Afro. Maybe it's because it's Afro and Nigerians are doing it. Maybe that's why they would say it sounds Nigerian. But in general, we have like I've worked on other sounds too, like, not just the Afro sound. But looking at the response that I get from the music that I do, actually, when I hear that, it just I feel like people just help me grow. You know what I mean? Like, let's say I do something right now, I'll ask someone in the studio to say, yo, how does this sound? If they tell me the same thing you just said, yo, it sounds Afro, I try my best to just like, just change it, follow a different, a different way, and then maybe try my best to make it sound as local as possible. But by the end of the day, I still believe like that's also music. Nigeria is originated in Africa. Zambia is in Africa. When we go out there, I feel like that's like African music.
Okay.
So if I do it, I feel like a Nigerian artist would also love to jump on any of our sounds.
I love that. I love that for real, though. I feel like they would really want to jump on our sound, and I've got a feeling that they will, and we'll start chasing like it's ours, it's ours. But for some of the new cats, you'd say you listen to.
New cats I listen to. By new cats, what do you mean?
Artists, people that I imagine at the same time as you.
I listen to there's Mordecai, there's A-Strap. I think there is what's that? It's what was his name again? I've just forgotten his name. But I'm familiar with the other guys. The great artists.
Okay. There's someone, I'm asking that because there's some artist, he's an upcoming artist I mentioned, who he failed to perform live on stage.
Yeah.
It was a big show and they failed to perform. But I saw you, was it show? You went to the showgrounds. Did you perform at the showgrounds?
Yeah, I tagged along with the
with Slap, yeah? How was it? Was it your first experience on stage?
I would say it was my third, but it just felt like the first one. I was kind of nervous and there was a lot of people there, but it was all right.
Okay. How are you, like your campmates, Terry? There was this guy in Kulima. A lot of people were looking at you, but me, I was looking at him. Not Elisha. What's his name?
Kim?
Kim. Yeah. Where is Kim?
That's underground recording, usual.
He's also under XYZ, though. Okay. I feel like there was a time when it wasn't a singing era for Zambians, but then now it's a singing era. And lucky enough, we have people like you. What is it that you're going to bring to the industry that we've never seen? Or maybe we might have seen it, but you're just going to bring it better.
Yeah, I think I have some ideas, of what I would like to, portray. I have some new sounds I've been working on, just can't wait to release and just like experiment and see how they would they would come out.
Sangatembo said you're a good actor. Have you tried acting? Yeah, you say that. Say I'm so good at acting. Have you tried that?
No, I haven't tried acting, no.
So you acting that music videos like the first time?
That was just like my first time. As I said, it's just happening. So, for me, it's happening like
so fast.
But I'm happy, you know, with how, you know, it's moving fast, but slowly but steady.
Nice.
I have the right people around me to tell me, oh, you know.
Nice. Speaking of having the right people around you, you know, we've seen people join record labels with nothing and leave with nothing. Or leave with something and leave with nothing. So how are you protecting your intellectual property?
What's that? I have like, okay, besides the team, like the XY team, I have like 2 of my friends that you know, keep me in check.
Okay.
Like
They make sure your contracts are in check.
Make sure my contracts are in check. If I'm briefing or I'm breaching, me myself trying to breach, you know, going out of the way, but, you know, at least they try, yo, bro, no, be straight. So even when it comes to other stuff, they're always there for me, and then they help me out, you know. So guys, this month I haven't checked in with the company. What do you think? You know, can somebody just tell me what's going on, and then they do for me. Because I'm actually in the studio, so it's
okay. And I remember asking someone a question to say, you never sampled real me.
No.
Oh?
No.
I asked someone that, then they said no. But then a few weeks later, it was the same. Like, are you sure? So how do you pick your beats?
With me, I just go like energy, like how I feel. Like if I like the chords, might be the drum roll this time, just like that, and then maybe how you know, how the energy is, the people are in the studio, how is the vibe. That's how. Okay, guys, this is it. I think this is it.
Okay. I know this is like an introductory interview, yeah? Obviously, you're going to achieve a lot of things. You make a couple of mistakes here, there. Is there something that you fear most about your career? I know you're only starting off, but is that something that says, okay, maybe that scares me when I get to the top?
I think if there's one thing that I can fear right now is sleeping, you know? Not waking up and just working hard, you know what I mean? Because there are other artists out there that are working even double time than I am. So I think it would hurt me if they're working harder than I am and I'm sleeping, you know, and then I think that would...
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. You don't want to sleep. Okay.
I just want to, you know, get it right. Like, if we're going to get it out there, our music out there, we have to work as hard as we're working right now, maybe even add up a little bit more, and we'll for sure get it.
Your dream collaboration?
But, I know we're both singers, but I would love to work with my big brother, Maps, your Maps.
You love to work with your Maps?
Yeah, no cap. Like,
others go for international. Oh, your Maps international.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's right.
Okay. So others go for like, you know, what you'd go for the video, but why Maps?
I think, you know, he's such a great artist. Like, as a vocalist myself, I know I don't do, you know, like that, you know, I haven't engaged myself in the Zambian music like that deep, but it's something that I work on every day. That's why I'm always in the, you know, in the studio. But how he does it, you know, it's like easy for you, you know? I'd like to reach that level as well where I just, you know, write a song and then no matter what, the song just goes. You know what I mean?
Maybe your EP. Do you have an album coming up?
EP. Yeah, EP. But for now, I was thinking just continue with singles. Okay. Because as I said, I'm experimenting on some sounds. So I need to work on the sound. If I can, you know, I can work on it a little bit more. Then if I'm ready, I'll release something big, like an EP or an album. But for now, it's a singles. So I see how. Plus,
you're featured on these albums that are coming out. Zambia Kuchalo. You're on Zambia Kuchalo. You're on J-Max's new album. You're on my album. Managers confirm. Yeah, but I wish you all the best, though.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is like a starter pack. So We'll wait for you to make scandals. I'm joking, what is it? I'm joking. But all the best then.
Thank you so very much.
I'm sure your people are watching you in Nilai. Obviously, I'm sure you gained some South African fans after that collaboration.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Who's easier to work with, Bobby or Slap?
Okay, I've only worked with both of them. Like I only have one project, the big one, and I think 2 or 3 projects with them. But looking at how we've worked, I think they're both alright. I think I work well with both of them.
Okay.
I work well with both of them, because they're pushing, yo, come on, you know. But I love that because I want to be, at a place where, you know what I mean. Nothing comes easy, so I understand that. So every time I'm around them too, I'm like, okay, I gotta do my best.
Just don't involve yourself in unnecessary beef. I think so with the artists and also with the fans. I'm sure you've seen how fans are really important. Yeah. So when you make it, then just don't forget about your fans.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Just don't make it and start insulting your fans.
No.
Apa, you're humble, apa. Wait to be at the park. I'm watching just all time. We got an interview. So I wish you nothing but all the best.
I appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
Do you have anything to say to your people?
Thank you so very much for supporting me. I love you guys, and I can't thank you enough for each and every single support you give me. So, I won't let you down. I'll continue working hard for you, and hopefully, everything's gonna work out. If I don't mess up, as she said.
No, it's okay to mess up. It's okay to make mistakes. Don't be scared to make mistakes because we learn from that.
Yeah,
so just
do
you. What's wrong with that? It's Fimbo season. Now you start twerking soon. You don't want to start twerking soon. Xain, I'm trying to get you in trouble, but don't worry, I got you. Thank you so much, Xain. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so very much.
Hopefully next time we give you a courtesy call on ZMB Talks, you won't be too busy for us.
I would love that.
Okay. Alrighty. You know what time it is? It's ZMB Talks. Please remember to subscribe. Remember to leave a comment. Remember what we always say, the bigger the channel, the bigger the guests. So please subscribe. Please remember to leave a comment. Can we play one must go?
Okay. But what's that? I've never heard of that game.
You know the game. Like one must go. So I'll give you 2 artists' names, and then you pick one. And then one must go together with their music forever.
Okay.
We play it?
Let's do it.
I love that. All right. One must go, eh? I'll give you the legendary names.
Okay.
Chameleon Danikaya.
That's tough one. Chameleon Danny. Dan.
Why? Kaya.
The daddy.
Okay. I want to give people that are not in your generation. Mampi K Figo.
Mampi K Figo. K Figo.
Okay. Vincenzo Chilewan.
Chilewan. That's a tricky one though.
Are you on Vincenzo's new album?
No.
Okay.
No.
Sinwe Chapolo, right?
Chinzo Chile. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Let me think about it properly.
Okay.
Looking at, I've heard quite a lot of Finn. I've heard quite a lot of Chile. I think Chile go.
Terry Towela Cairo.
Terry Towela. Okay, that's a tricky one. That's a very tricky one. Terry.
Did we work with both of them yet? Or you've only worked with Terry?
I've only worked with Terry, so I've only heard Toela's music, but I haven't actually like worked.
Okay.
So I'd say, okay, looking at the amount of singles out, I'd say Terry must go.
Because she's your girl, so she won't get hurt. You know that. It on TV.
No, it's not that. I just, I thought about it carefully.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, again, I'll ask just one favor, then I'll just walk out.
Okay.
That part for your verse in Kulima, could you do that for me? And I'll leave.
You want me to sing the verse?
Yeah. Or like a chorus?
My verse, right?
Yeah, your verse.
Drama si pressure. Chikondinye chivuto pesa. I promise I'm down if you braver. As long as you hold us together, mama. Love is a two-way game. When I scratch your back, you should do the same. Not always at fault, but I take the blame. Cause if I die today, will you do the same? So if I love you, you love me, baby. Love is a two-way thing, baby. I love you, you love me, baby. Love is a two-way thing.
Kulima, baby. Bye, guys. Remember to subscribe. I've been your girl, the People's Bay. You know what time it is. #elevating the industry.
Yeah.